Sometimes the world just needs a hero to help cut through all the noise.
Well, now you have two.
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in a good mood, and you are listening to the most awesome, amazing podcast on the face of this nation. We have two superheroes. I am numero 2 in this, and the number 1 is over there. My name is Steve Hudson.
He's right, you know. We are superheroes. We deliver the goods every week. Superhero number 2 at your service. My name is Dan Ramirez. Ladies and gentlemen, what the hell's going on?
I said number 2. You're number 1. Okay, don't try to make. I said I'm number 2. You're number 1, Dan.
What did I say? Did I say number 2?
Yes, you did.
See, I'm just modest that way.
You are, dude, and you are a superstar.
You know why I said number 2?
I know what you're gonna say because you're the.
Yeah.
I already know, dude. You're not gonna. Hey, look, I might be slow at some things.
Hey, Steve, I got a joke for you.
Oh, I can't wait. Hit me with it. Your best shot.
So, if you're. We're laughing at stuff that was off mic, so you're just gonna have to go with it. Because it's not really worth explaining.
No, it's 80s stuff that only a few of you are going to get anyway.
But now, new listeners, I'm going to apologize because it's going to happen sooner or later that you're going to find out that I'm a potty mouth. So yes. Why did the cowboy have shit on his mustache?
I don't know.
He was looking for love in all the wrong places. Thank you very much.
Dan.
Gonna be that kind of show today, ladies and gentlemen.
You want to hear a joke? A horrible joke?
I do.
It's a horrible
You gotta
joke.
match mine, right?
So, a guy walks into the doctor's office, and the doctor says, I have 2 things of bad news. And he's like, well, I guess you might as well just start. Just hit me with it. He's like, number 1, you have cancer. And he's like, okay. He said, number 2, you have Alzheimer's. He said, whew, at least I ain't got cancer.
Welcome to the Dad Joke Podcast. You want another one? A little bit longer.
Yeah, please.
You might stop me if you heard this, all right?
Okay.
All right, so there's this guy, and he's hiking through the fields and the Greenlands of Ireland, okay? Hilly area, and he comes up, he sees this pub. So he walks in, he's going to go down and have a pint, right? So he goes in, and he sits down at the bar, and there's this guy next to him. And the guy's kind of just looking down into his beer and everything. This guy orders a pint, sitting there drinking. After a little bit, the guy looks over at him, and he's like, laddie, he's like, look out the window over there. He's like, you see that pier out there on the water? Built it myself. Got the wood, fashioned it, did it all myself. Took me several weeks. But do they call me Patty, the pier builder? No, I think not. And look over there, lad. You see that wall? He's like, yeah, I see that wall. It's a nice wall. Every stone I carried myself. I made the mortar and I pieced it all together and I built this wall myself. But do they call me Patty, the wall builder? No, they don't. And since we're right here, laddie, do you see this wonderful wooden bar that we're sitting at here? It's a great bar. I was actually looking at that. Lathed the edges and finished it myself, sanded it, start to finish. It's been here for a long time. But do they call me Patty, the bar builder? No, they don't. But you fuck one goat. Thank you very much.
That is so.
Are there any listeners there?
That is
they all left,
so
Steve.
Funny, dude. I love things that are just like super clever. Like it didn't go further and be like, and so they call me that. No, it just stopped right there. That is. Where did you hear that one from?
It's one of my favorite jokes. I heard it years ago. I've heard it told several different ways. That's just me saying it off the top of my head, but
that's really good.
It made me laugh the first time I heard it.
Do you think you've given that to you? Do you think your son is a good joke teller?
No, he's not. Matter of fact, he was trying to tell me a joke the other day, and I know he's coming at me with a joke. I know something's coming at me when I just look at his face. If he's got a grin, because he's been laughing about it in his room or whatever for a while,
yes.
He can't pull it together,
yes.
Man. He's the worst. He could never be a comedian.
But I know you laugh at him during his telling. You're just laughing because you're like, oh, he's
got me smiling ear to ear because I just want to see where this goes. Yeah.
That is freaking
Oh,
amazing,
man.
dude.
Off to a good start. I'm feeling pretty good.
That is a really good. I mean, look, I'm always one for a good dad joke, and those were all fantastic. Well done, Dan. You have more jokes in your brain than people know.
Honestly, that's not entirely true. I think I've been telling only that joke for the last couple of years.
Have you told it like this is the first time you've told it on air though, right?
Very true. All for you people.
So I got a question for you, Dan.
Please tell. Hey, by the way, Steve, if I sound a little breathy today, goddamn air got me again, man. So I just did an inhaler before we started. I don't know where that cool thing in my life has started, but I'm now that guy.
You can't be in Fresno without getting some sort of.
It's the worst.
Something.
It's so bad today. So, guys, I'm going to apologize. You probably won't even notice, but that's Steve. Is it not like me to just out myself for everything?
Oh, for sure.
I'm just going to tell you.
Sure.
A lot of muting going to be going on. So if it sounds weird, I'm taking these really big breaths and coughing and shit. But here I am. Steve, let's rock it. What were you about to say, sir?
So we call Dan the superstar of the podcast for a reason. It's because people ask him to go on other podcasts. This week is no different, Dan. You were a guest somewhere else. What show were you a guest on?
I was fortunate enough to be on Pop Culture Leftovers yet again, but it was a bonus episode. But it was the episode that I wanted to be on because, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Star Wars. Now, if you heard the last episode, you know how I feel about this. Now, the last episode that we did, that was just like a little something that I did on the fly with Johnny Bucks because I wanted to talk about it. And Steve, I know it's not your thing. I needed to talk to somebody yesterday when I saw that.
Exactly. Yes.
So, and I'm happy that I got Johnny because he loves to talk that kind of stuff. But then I go on to PCL the next day, and we turned a 2-minute trailer into a 3-hour show with speculations and theories and, you know, just what we thought about it. It's Star Wars, man. That's how people talk when they like Star Wars. So if you want to listen to some very good Star Wars conversation, go to Pop Culture Leftovers. Episode just came out last weekend, and it's all about the trailer. Steve, you watched it, right?
I did, dude. I freaking watched it, yes.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a beautiful thing.
I mean, yeah, I know y'all were super duper. Like, for me, being that I just got into it, for me, I was just jazzed. I was just like, man, let me tell you what J.J. Abrams knows how to do. Get people hype. He knows how to do it. He knows how to be like, look, I'm going to get people so into this, they're not going to know what to do. And a lot of times he does it on the heels of someone saying, we're not really looking forward to this. He knows how to be like, really? He's only failed once, and that was with the recent Star Trek. That was the only time he failed, right?
That was ugly.
I haven't seen it. People kept on saying, don't do it. Just don't. You're saving your time. Don't. I said, oh, okay. J.J. Abrams doesn't miss. They're like, he missed this time. He for sure missed.
Everyone has a miss every now and then, man. I really like J.J. Abrams. I know you're not the biggest fan of J.J., but I'm a huge fan of J.J. So
I love J.J. I think he's a very stylistic. He is to what like light flares and style is. He is to that what Quentin is to like verbal exchanges, dialogue. He's very flashy. He likes to show his flash.
Yeah.
And as opposed to dialogue, I'm not into flash. But he even said recently, he said what, a few years ago, he's like, I'm going to chill on the light flares. Because a lot of people, even directors, were saying, dude, that's a lot of light flares.
Hey, JJ, like those lens flares, buddy?
And he's like, yes, he's like, dude, I probably need to chill. When you know that you see it in your movie, you're like, that's a lot. And so he's chill. But when I know some people avoid trailers, so I'm not going to totally ruin it because you probably listen to both either our breakdown or yes, you probably listen to one of them. Look, the first scene, I was like, I screamed.
I did too.
I was like, I have never seen anything like that in my life.
So
dude.
dope. So incredibly dope.
I mean, that was, but you know what also it taught me?
What's that?
It showed me how many fingers into action movies The Matrix had. How it changed everything.
Total game changer.
The way
I know what you're saying.
Changed everything.
There are those monumental shots in certain movies where you go, oh, okay, I'm going to see this for the next 50 years.
Yes, dude.
Matrix is definitely one of those movies, for sure.
It is that movie where I'm just like, that was amazing. And I look back, I'm like, I remember having that feeling of never seeing someone do this jump into something small and being able to pause. And I'm like, that. But dude, where he cut the scene is perfect because you don't know what happens really. You kind of know, but you don't know. JJ knows how to do his thing.
Trust me. Every single
Of
frame,
course.
literally,
Of course.
we talks about, man. That's how you turn a 2-minute trailer into 3 hours.
And I feel the thing is, it's so weird because my nerdism is like different from the Star Wars nerds. Like my nerdism is, like we were just saying Jackie Brown. And I was like, yeah, but everyone has their thing. It's just that most of this culture comes from Star Wars, Star Trek, anime. Most of it comes from that, dude. And now people are being nerds about everything. Music. Yeah, there's always been music nerds. Let me stop. There's always been those nerds at record shops that just know everything for no reason.
We're a society of nerds. It doesn't matter what it is. You collect stamps, you're nerdy about stamps. It doesn't matter. It's just people are really into collecting shit and fandom and pop culture and all that.
You see Tran got that standing ovation?
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, man. Because they dissed her so badly.
It was a whole crowd of people saying, whoever is outside this auditorium doesn't matter.
Exactly.
We got
well put.
And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't get moved by it or anything. I'm not saying I didn't get moved by it, but I found it very emotional for her. I guess I did get moved by it, actually. I found the whole thing kind of emotional. Okay, I admit it, I cried. There.
Of course you did.
You just watched me do the whole Russian doll thing where I went from the big doll all the way down to the little one right there.
Dude, it was a beautiful moment because I know what it, especially, and the funny thing is I saw the movie after the hate. I read all the hate before seeing the movie. And so when I saw, because remember I watched them back to back to back, or back to back. Was it back to back to back?
It was close.
Did I watch 3?
I think you only did 2. You just did did you do any of the originals? I can't remember.
Yes, I did. I did the original. And remember I kept on texting you being like, I've seen this before. And you're like, of course you have. And my mom was like, we of course we saw this. You saw this when you were little. We used to always watch it. I'm like, oh, that's why. The only thing I didn't recognize was the Jabba the Hutt scene. I was like, well, I don't remember this at all. And you were like, no, they added that later. I said, oh.
No, they didn't. Well, they didn't add the whole thing later, but they did do a lot to it that made me just kind of puke.
I didn't like it at all. It just seemed like they took a weird scene but everything else I remembered and read up, got, anyway. Yeah. So I got to watch them back to back to back. I was like, the first one was great, but there was something about being brand new into it. These recent ones, I was like, oh no, I could watch this. I could have put replay immediately when I stopped it. I could have but I'm like, okay, play that again. That was freaking amazing. I loved this movie. And I remember texting you being like, what a great movie. You're like, yeah, dude, welcome to the party. Welcome to because you told me I'd like it. You're like, I mean, it's up your alley. I mean, you're going to like it. But I really, really, really liked it. I think it's fantastic. And is this it, bruh?
That's what they're saying. At least for the Skywalker saga. Now, the guys that do Game of Thrones and Rian Johnson are scheduled to do trilogies themselves. And I think they're actually kind of working. I just read something about that, actually. I wish I would have pulled the note. But they are actually working kind of together on it. Not like it's going to be from the creators of Game of Thrones and Rian Johnson, but I think what they're doing is they're trying to piece a puzzle together and see what they're going to do for the next decade.
Yes, and making sure we don't step on each other's feet going forward.
We don't have another Last Jedi incident where we have to do things.
Exactly.
That may
And I'm
change.
shocked that Game of Thrones, you know who I would have tagged?
Who's that?
The Russo brothers.
They haven't really done anything impressive over the last few years, though.
Yeah, that's true. Nothing memorable.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've kind of been in their room. But
let's give them a couple years to marinate, mature.
Disney kind of has them locked. I think when Disney gets a hold of somebody, it's hard to say whatever checks they're writing, no one can match them.
Disney's just a big ass pimp.
Dude, how much does Disney own now, dog? You will never have to deal with any. If you say I either can do Star Wars or I could chill with Disney. At this point, dude, the Russo brothers should just say skip it. I'll just post. Even though it's nice to get your name on a Star Wars vehicle, though. It's nice to have your name there.
I don't know what they're going to do. They're basically going on hiatus. Star Wars is going on hiatus for who knows how long. It's an indefinite amount of time. They are not doing any more of the standalone movies.
But I don't think I'm going to assume she doesn't die at the end of this. So why would they stop it?
Sometimes you got to get out when the getting's good.
The getting will never not be good for Star Wars.
I just think that sometimes it's nice to sort of close the book. Some movies can do it in just one movie. You know what I mean? Some films are done like that, where it's just all encapsulated and you have this complete movie and you don't need to see anything else. This is telling a story. And if they do it correctly, it's going to be amazing. If they screw it up, guaranteed they're going to screw it up for somebody, because Star Wars fans are their own worst enemies. Yeah. Someone's going to hate it. But I think I'm going to love it. I've loved everything so far, except for the original trilogy. Or excuse me, the prequels.
You know I'm going to like it. You know I'm going to come out and be like, this was perfect. And everybody's going to start nitpicking. I'll be like, I didn't see any of that. It was amazing to me. I think, and for me, I like, look, we have to start enjoying things. Even if you don't like everything. I think people go in with the goal of picking something apart. Instead of saying, I'm going to love as much as I can, sometimes you'll forget what you didn't like. I think that's a better, right now at least, with the monster in office, we need all the enjoyment we can get. After that, have a ball. But right now, every time I go into a movie, I'm looking to be taken away from this world and immersed into, and I think Star Wars is exactly what I need.
Yeah, take me on a 2 to 3 hour vacation.
A 3-hour tour, if you will.
Nice.
And so I want to just go, and I think watching this trailer for, what was it, a minute 50 or 2?
It was like 2 minutes.
Change. Okay. So in that trailer, I said, if they would have done this, if they would have showed her do the thing where she looked behind, started running and flipped, and it just stopped and said Star Wars, I would have been like, oh, guess what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, you know, that could have been really good. That would have just been enough for me. It's never.
Oh, people would have lost their mind.
Yeah, I'm lying to you. It wouldn't have been enough, but it would have been the most talked about thing all weekend.
Oh,
it still was.
It would have been, if it would have ended with that crowd, because you saw the crowd reaction to that.
Oh, yeah.
Then they were like, oh, and if it would have just stopped, had like Chewbacca doing a noise and been like Star Wars, and then that laugh from the end, done. People would have been like, they wouldn't have complained. I promise you they would have walked out that auditorium being like, we just saw the most awesome thing we've ever seen in our lives. Now, I do know, seeing Billy D was probably good for y'all. I was like, why, what's going on with Billy? I didn't know he was still, okay. I don't know how that, okay.
It's cool. Lando. Lando has to come back.
I'd rather him. I will tell you that.
It's the coolest guy in the galaxy, baby.
Go 45. I would rather see him than the childish. So it's a win.
Oh, you're talking about Gambino, your boy.
Oh, dude,
Mr. Glover. It's Mr. Glover to you, sir.
And the sad thing is, I'm going to watch Atlanta.
I was about to say, and you're going to be sitting right there as soon as that shit comes out.
Do you know what's funny? Everybody that has watched Atlanta, like I've been, certain podcasts will be like, I just watched the second season of Atlanta, and people I don't think would like it. They're just like, it is the most incredible show. I'm like, what are you doing watching it? And how are you into this show? It's so weird to me. I don't understand it, actually. I really don't.
I could see how it's not relatable to certain demographics, but if you just pay attention, it's a very good show.
It's a slam. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he is great on Atlanta. It's just when I saw him on Star Wars, I was just like, or it was in the Solo movie. Then I was just like, oh, he's now I can't escape him. Like, he's everywhere now. There's no, and I didn't watch the Solo movie. I've heard mixed reactions from it, to say the least. I've heard very, very, very mixed reactions from the Solo movie. My dad normally, if he watches something that he likes a little, and he likes everything, he'll talk to me about it. He didn't mention the Solo film, and I was in there when he was watching it. He literally said nothing about it ever again.
I think that they just went a little too... Oh, that's right, though. It was the Lord Miller whole thing, and then Ron Howard came on. So anytime you get that, it's almost like, let's just start over. Let's just start. I know there's a lot of money, there's millions of dollars being spent on this, so it's not that easy, of course, but it would be nice if they take the extra time. But it is what it is. It's my least favorite of all the Star Wars movies. Is it? No.
Of all?
You know what? I always say that, but I never include the prequels.
Okay, I thought you meant, even with Jar Jar.
Yeah, I left those out.
I was so offended when I left that movie.
Why were you offended? I mean, I know why I was offended.
I was offended because I was like, I see what y'all doing. Y'all ain't slick. Like, I walked out of there.
No, please, please tell me what they were doing.
They were doing they were doing a super duper like coonish black scent. No question. Whoever did it, and the thing is, whoever did it, either they were in on the joke or they were so dumb they didn't understand that this was happening. It was just stupid.
I'm pretty sure Ahmad Best was the one that came up with the accent and everything, though. I don't think that they pulled Ahmad Best aside and said, listen, do your worst black impersonation. Like, go.
No, but they were pushing
I want you to go and here's a movie. Just take this here and go put it in the player. Now, it is called Monster Project. I want you to do that.
Oh, my God. Dan, you know what's funny? You're right. That the more the thing is, I told you from jump, I hated that character.
You did.
I hated that character, but I still think we all need to sit down and rewatch that.
Yes, and I'm going to watch it with you.
Yes, but the fact that they were able as students to, or whoever did that transformation, it's still a good transformation. Now, when you compare that to what we were talking about, obviously, nothing's going to compare to like the big Star Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when I watched, it looked like she for real jumped. Like it didn't seem like it was no weight to it. It seemed like it was happening. And I was like, oh, dude, I don't want her to go, Dan. I don't want her to stop. I think there's more they can do with the Skywalker lore. I don't understand why they're ending it.
Because there's a lot of different stories that you can tell.
Thank you. Why would you end it
No.
now?
I'm saying there's like other... Now, I'm not an expanded universe guy, so I can't talk all the talk that a lot of people, when they read the books and they read the comics and things like that, I can't do that. I'm ignorant to it. But I do know that there are... What I would like to see are the Knights of the Old Republic. So take that style of Game of Thrones and give them Knights of the Old Republic. If that's what they do, it's going to be sick. I can't wait.
Well, I've been reading the Vader on Marvel Unlimited.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that on the show. How far are you?
Not very far, but far. Like every time I get a chance and open, because I need an iPad. I have to read it on my iPhone, dude.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's silly. And so I need to invest in an iPad. People are like, there's other pads that you can get, I'm like,
You're like, nah.
Yeah, I'm a Mac dude. Why are you giving me this filth? And so I want to get that. And so I could read it legit instead of having to zero in on it and stuff like that. But it sucks that he's dead because, gee, the problems he could be doing right now, bruh. Like, the comic is making him ridiculous.
I'm not going to say what it is, but are you at a part where you find out where he comes from? That's all I'll say.
No.
Okay.
No.
Cool. All right. I just learned something last week and I was like, oh, okay. All right.
He is a problem.
So you're recommending that everyone reads it, Steve? I know it's been out for a while.
I would recommend everyone reading it, especially since they, for no reason at all, killed him. I don't
There's
get
no
it.
reason. I mean, the story's not no reason at all.
I get it, but if he's the Vader of the comic, could Luke Skywalker have beaten him?
He did.
I know, but really though.
Well, the thing is one came before the other. So he got a whole lot cooler as things moved. You killed everybody, Darth Vader? Be a lot cooler if you did.
Gee, he kills everybody. I mean, like he'll be surrounded and the people are scared. The soldiers are like, we need to get out of here.
Well, you saw the damage he did in Rogue One. They needed to do more of that in the films. So I see your point. If they could do that, you know what? They could do a standalone Vader movie.
Oh, they could totally. James Earl's still here.
Not much longer, though. I mean, I hope he's around forever, but they better hurry.
We need to do it now. Yeah, he needs, because there's no one that's the one thing that you kind of need. You need that voice.
Because anyone can go.
Exactly.
But no one sounds like James.
Woo, yes, you need that voice. And if you could do that, like how many Star Wars, okay, if they were like, well, here's a trailer for a new movie I'm doing, and it just shows people running. Well, how would they do it? If they just show a trailer and somehow just the red lightsaber cutting through a door and then it goes off, wouldn't that just be enough?
To like clue you in and not giving a title or anything?
Yes, like Star Wars people, where it's just like, oh my God.
I think you would have to at least do one so they would know what's up.
Oh, Dan.
You would need to.
Dan, if you cut the door, the red lightsaber, the lights go out and you hear the footsteps and then it goes off. Would people be like, oh my God, are they doing it?
Everyone would be changing their pants.
Are you serious?
I think so. I don't know.
I want to see that
like
movie.
I said, man, Star Wars fans are kind of their own worst enemy. So it's very divisive sometimes. And some people really want to see, they have a certain vision of things that they would like to see, though they're not making the movies, of course. And then there's the people that are a little more open to things. Personally, I'm a little open to it as long as it's good. But if you try to serve me crap, I'm going to tell you.
Here's the problem. Where do they do that from? Because we already saw, his origin, sort of. Where do you have to just throw those away and just say, we're going to do a new thing?
No, it could be an anthology movie. And just do one.
Really?
Yeah, just do one. Do a young Vader. Like when Vader was first created. Right after they put... Did you see the last one? Did you see episode 3?
The recent one, yeah.
No. When Anakin became Darth Vader in the prequels.
Oh, yeah, I did, yes.
So after, he's like, no! Puts that fucking helmet on. Have him go out there. Next day. What do you got?
Oh, that's real.
That's the movie I want. I want a Darth Vader movie of him figuring out his new body.
Oh, dude. That would be action. And especially since it's going to take a few movies for him to get his bag going. Like, get in his bag.
He was already in the Sith zone when he got the body, the new body. But let's make it a comedy. What's this button do? He fucking takes off, flies through the roof or something.
American Hero?
Yes. Oh, dude. I was watching that. I tried watching that the other day. When's the last time you saw Greatest American Hero?
I have the DVD collection.
You do? Okay, so then,
yes.
A lot of people were saying, and it's very dated, of course, and it's funny, hokey,
dude.
But it's really good.
It's really, the theme of it, you saw how Shazam took a lot of those elements.
Right. How does this work?
How does this freaking work? And I thought it was so, and especially seeing him, because I remember that actor, when he did that scary movie, he did House.
He did House?
House, not the movie, like the horror movie.
Yes. Sorry, I was thinking the series.
And I was like, it threw me off. I was like, oh my God.
That's an old ass movie right there you pulled, man.
That's a movie.
I saw it in the theater.
Good one. Isn't it good?
Yeah, it was good. It's been a long
House
time.
is really good. And so I remember seeing him from that comedy into that scary movie that really scared me as a kid. But I watched all the episodes of Greatest American Hero to the point that my mom was like, I remember you purposely falling off your bunk bed with a cape. Just rolling off to be him.
You were just born to tumble.
Exactly. She's like, you would just roll off. You'd go down the stairs. You do all this silly stuff. And I had to convince your dad that my son was normal. And it was kind of hard when you come tumbling down the stairs. I just have to look at him and be like, I promise he might get better later. Maybe.
He's perfectly fine.
Lord Jesus, help me, Lord Jesus.
You just pulled an Aunt Bunny.
I don't know anyone who's going to know that except for us is going to know that reference.
Oh, no, they'll know it. It's plenty famous.
No.
It is.
No, it's not.
Anyone that's our age is going to know Aunt Bunny.
Oh, damn, that's not true. We're in a very niche that knows that.
We're not saying what it is, but what the hell? Do us a favor. Email in or voicemail in.
They're going to cheat. They're going to Google it. They're going to Google it.
No. I was going to say, but don't Google it. Like if you legit know, that's my point I'm trying to prove. Don't go and Google it. I don't give a shit. I could do that. It's you're not proving it to anybody. Like give me some kind of a reference point. Something from what I'm talking about.
Is that popular in popular culture?
It was huge in popular culture.
I thought I was one of the few that heard that.
You want to be a hipster is what you want to be.
Are you sure it was that popular, G?
Yes, dude.
Y'all knew Aunt Bunny?
Come on, man. He was only the biggest comedian in the world back then. Literally.
He was bigger than I remember. Because I was only 8 or 7.
I wasn't too much further.
When Raw came out, when Delirious came out, I was 5.
Oh, by the way, speaking of age, ladies and gentlemen, it's a special week. I'm sorry I keep taking us from different conversations, but trust me, it's probably for the best. But round of applause for the coolest guy I know.
Mm-hmm.
He is a sex marathon man, as we all know. A ladies' man, the most fantastic laugh you've ever heard. And 41 years ago, and some change, my man was born. Steve Hudson, happy birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it, but thank you. I really, really, really appreciate it. I had a good, fun... You know how I celebrated my birthday?
Yeah, by ignoring my texts.
That's not true. Oh, we can't even say it.
We can flirt with it.
We can flirt with it. Something is coming down the pike.
Yes.
Is that right? Pipe or pike?
It's coming soon. God, I sound like I smoked 20 cigarettes before I started talking, man.
Well, you do smoke a lot of cigarettes a day, Dan.
Yeah, a whole zero.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know. We need to get you on Chantix.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't.
But yeah, we have something coming as a birthday reveal. We have a few shows coming down the pike that we're really excited about.
That's true.
It's going to be really good.
Let's talk about that real quick, though, before you start. You know where my head is about wanting to release information. So yes. I'm going to back off, and I want you to go ahead and do the sneak preview. Otherwise, they're going to know what's up. I'm going to say everything.
All right. We recently did part of a music series. It got good reviews, and we have it came with a cool little audience that really is into music. And we're like, okay, instead of putting it on the Heroes of Noise, we're going to one day in the future, we're working on this, make an actual music, a music podcast.
Dedicated music podcast where we get deep into the weeds and all this stuff. And so that's coming. Down the way, because we still got Preacher the last season. Oh man, yeah, that's news too. Since we've last spoken,
season of Preacher. Oh, dude.
All right, guys, real quick, let me just do this part. So, our first podcast was The Word, the unofficial Preacher podcast. Yeah, I know it's a long title, but we did fantastic. We've got a lot of listeners on that. Like more than this, we have a lot of listeners on that, and they're super dedicated. And it's so much fun, and that's how we got our start 3 years ago, or a little less than 3 years ago, actually. So, found out recently that season 4 of Preacher is going to be its last season. That depresses me on several different levels that I'm not going to get into because that's like half an hour conversation easily. But what that means is the future of the Word is now non-existent, really. I think this is going to be it's going to be our last season of the Word. So we invite you to come along. We're going to talk about that a lot more as season 4 gets in. I think it's like in August when it starts. We'll be talking about that, but stay tuned. We have one more season. I have some things that I'm working on right now that I think is going to make it awesome. I'm not going to release that yet because things can change, drop of a hat. But I'm working on some big things, guys. Seriously, I really am. And if you listen to the show, you know I'm not bullshitting you. Other than that, okay, I'm going to stop talking now. Because I'm excited. I don't want to say. I do. I want to say it all. I want to yell it from the rooftops. I want to be like...
I'm going to miss it.
I want to be like Anchorman. It's like, Veronica, Courtney, Stone, and I are in love, and we had sex.
And you know, the sad thing, I remember like the first few seasons, it was rough because getting up, doing the show, all this stuff.
Plus, you hated the first season.
I didn't hate it. I did not like it. But then it starts doing this amazing trajectory where it just gets better and better and better. And what I do love is that Seth Rogen is saying, we're wrapping it up. Like, we're not going to leave y'all hanging. It's going to be a finished story.
Yes.
Which means every episode is going to be jam-packed with stuff.
It has to be, or a lot of stuff's getting cut out.
Yes.
Honestly, I think the latter is going to be the case because there's so much story left to tell. There's no way they can just take everything.
Yeah, you can't do they're going to airplane.
Right. Yeah. I think it's going to be the key points, the big guns, I think is what's going to be happening.
No spoilers, but do you think he loses an eye?
That's a spoiler, wouldn't it be?
Not really. No. Because how he does
I could see it being on the end, like the very last episode or towards the end. Yeah, season 4, let's call it. He's losing an eye.
See, if he loses an eye in the end of season 4, that means they cut out a lot of stuff. Because there's still a lot after the eye loss.
Yeah, but I think they should work that in.
Because that patch is important. There's only two things I don't want. Here's the two things. The one very high-powered person's reveal, the eye loss, and the I think you've broke every bone in my hand. Those are the three I need.
I would also like to see some cannibals.
I could go without them.
Yeah, it probably won't happen, and if it doesn't happen, not a big deal, but I would be very happy if I saw that. Because it's...
Oh, for sure. No question.
Well, but it's almost like a running gag, though, so maybe they shouldn't go there.
And then I think it's cool to see, I think they're done shooting. So it's cool to see the cast put up like little pictures and stuff. And it sucks, dude. But again, I'm looking forward to what Seth Rogen does next. Really looking forward to that. Or that he's already done next. Kind of pumped.
That's an understatement and you know it.
We are very, very pumped. The Boys, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be quite amazing.
New trailer dropped this morning, by the way.
It is legit.
Yeah.
You know what I realized from watching the trailer?
What's up?
The person that could play the Homelander is Mark Paul Gosselaar.
Mark Paul Gosselaar.
From Saved by the Bell.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what's weird? You're talking about, I didn't really watch the show. It was out of my age range, kind of.
Yes.
But was it Zach? Is that who you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, they kind of look alike. I thought it was him.
Yes.
That's crazy.
For a second, I was like, you know what? And the thing is, it would have been such a turn of a character that people would love to watch him be that evil guy.
Yeah, I really did think it was him for a while.
He's great too. Like he's really good now. Like he's a legit good actor, and he seems like a cool guy. Like a good, I haven't seen him red hatting it anywhere. I'm like, oh, look at this dude.
You want to hang out with him?
Him and Homeboy, him and Mario Lopez, G, are still buddies. Gee, Mario Lopez looks exactly the same.
Yeah, but I think he's got some work. Or it's just a lot of makeup. Maybe it's because, I forget the show, but I actually saw them recording that one time outside of Universal Studios, whatever show he hosts with Maria Menounos.
Did you?
Yeah.
You should have said hi.
No, I mean, I didn't watch it. I just saw them doing it. I was trying to ride rides and stuff.
Hey, man.
What up, man? Fresno, represent.
I would have had to come up and be like, hey, man.
Where Prepper at?
For real. I'd be like, you're a lot shorter than you are on the TV show. That would be mean.
Get over here, you handsome son of a bitch.
Look at you. Rub his head.
He's like, I'm on the air. Oh, hey, what's up, America?
You got to see him? That's dope.
Yeah.
Gee,
I wasn't a fan.
Nothing excites you.
I wasn't a fan.
Nothing excites you, G.
That's not true at all. Listen to the last episode. Plenty excites me.
That's true. Well, I'm saying meeting people. The only people you've been excited about for me so far is Christian Slater and dude from Coheed and Cambria. And Jon Favreau.
I was excited for all of those, yes. I mean, I don't meet a lot of people all the time.
Those are the only three.
Like celebrities speaking, of course.
I mean, I imagine I'm going to run into like 152,000 at C2E2.
Oh, here comes C2E2 again. We're just checking in. We still good?
We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
All right. This is 2 episodes now where we said we're going to C2E2. We should probably follow through with it is what I'm getting at.
Oh, for sure. And the thing is, I might just end up Airbnb-ing it and crashing at somebody's house.
That's so weird. You're going to get killed. You're going to get murdered in your sleep.
That's not true. They have guest houses, G.
Yeah, that they have keys to, and they're going to murder you in your sleep, or they're going to watch you doing what you do in your downtime. And you're going to find yourself on Pornhub.
They'll be like, this must be an ad.
Let me filter these by shortest video. Oh, wow. It's literally 25 seconds long.
Where is the skip ad button? What's going on here?
You should be a speedster in the Flash series. That'd be great.
Gee, do you know the kind of damage I could be as a speedster?
You'd be fast, and all of a sudden someone would be like, what the hell is that on my arm? What is that? It's disgusting.
That is freaking hilarious, G. You know what's funny? There's still, do you think that, we're not going to even go down the tangent. What we'll say is, let's get back to the boy.
Oh, yeah. We got other stuff to talk about, too.
We do want to, we are looking very forward to what he does after Preacher, But Preacher's always going to hold a special part in our hearts because it rocketed us into what we're doing now. Like, regardless of the first and whatever seasons that were okay, without Preacher, we're not doing this. So
it was
Seth
the
Rogen,
springboard for Heroes of Noise.
Gee, if I ever meet Seth Rogen, I'll be able to be like, look, dude, like, you made an impact bigger than the show for me. Like, I wouldn't have done my podcast without that guy. And mind you, Preacher would have never happened without him. Who was pushing it as much as he was? It's a crazy niche comic, dude.
And then he kind of like just stopped talking about it, it seemed.
Yeah, he just said, let me just do, because I think he realized they're going to give him money because of his name. Like, he's a movie star, so they're going to is he a movie star?
Yeah, let's call him a movie star. Sure.
Okay, he is a star in movies, but then again, Hallmark Channel people could be movie stars then. But anyway, not saying anything bad about Hallmark Channel. One of our friends are on one of those shows. So,
damn, Jay.
So when you're a movie star and you're making a show, I think that brings you a bit of cachet.
Yeah, I think so.
And so he doesn't really have to sell it every year. And I don't even know how. I mean, all he must have done is bring in the comics of the boys and tell them to read it and then come back later and say, now, do you want me to make this show? Because how do you sell the boys? Like, how do you sell that show?
Apparently you go to Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, if you go to him, he's going to happen. And also, remember, he's trying to beat, Netflix and HBO. He's trying to beat all of them. And to be real, if he wanted to make a Game of Thrones, he could fund it himself and not even feel the hit. He wouldn't feel the hit of funding a Game of Thrones. That's the power Jeff Bezos has right now. There's never going to be a situation of, we ran out of money. Now, Seth Rogen has the finances behind him. And so if one were to plan to do something for a few years, this would be a solid investment to make. I'm just saying. If someone were planning on making something regarding the boys, this would be a solid investment because it will never run out of money.
You think we're going to get multiple seasons? I think we will. I think we'll least two for sure.
Yeah, we'll get two because it's not really that massive of an arc. Like, the boys aren't really it wraps up nicely, starts wonderfully, and it's just done. You're not going to be able to stretch that out for multiple seasons. But then again, I didn't think they could do that with Hannah either. They're stretching that out, and that was a 2-hour movie. So who knows what they're going to be able to do? They might be able to stretch it out.
If we're lucky, they will. Because we're taking special interest in this show. That's all we'll say so far. That's it. That's all we're saying.
Very special interest. Very special interest.
Tickling all your little asses with feathers right now. That's all we're saying.
Why does it have to be that? I don't even think you can do that, Dan.
What's that? Tickle an ass with a feather?
Yes. It's not ticklish.
You were laughing the other day.
Oh, Dan. You're telling our private business.
Sorry.
Now, some people will like to talk to us about the boys and say, hey, guys, what are you going to do? Are you going to ever discuss this on the show? And I would be like, maybe, but the only way that you would be able to do that is if you contact us. And there's only one person. Dan is real protective about our contact information. I don't even know our email address, really. Like, he mutes me and he puts it on later.
Yeah, don't tell him.
So I don't know. He doesn't tell me. So the only person that knows is him, and he's about to give the information to you.
I sure as hell am, buddy. It's been a while. You know what? I think I've skipped it the last 3 shows. I don't know what happened.
You're shameful.
I fell off the wagon. I don't know what the hell happened, but let's go ahead and get to it right now. There it is. I was having some troubles there a second ago, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm back. So here we go. If you want to get a hold of the show, please, by all means, hit us up, heroesofnoisepodcast@gmail.com. Hi there, my name is Dan. You can hit me up on Twitter @DanQPublic, my friend Steve @SE_Hudson Music, and you can get the show, The Heroes of Noise, @Heroes of Noise. Brilliant, right? See how we did that? It's all very easy. We don't have a lot of faith in you, I think is what it is. Facebook, @Heroes of Noise, and screw all of that. Just go to heroesofnoise.com, because that's where it's happening, ladies and gents. That's where we get down. There you can leave us a voicemail. You can subscribe to the show. We're available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeart, Spotify, all that bullshit. That's us. That's what we do. We're the Heroes of fucking Noise, for Pete's sake. And then, of course, go down to the bottom. and go to the Positive Justice, see the people that we're hanging out with, having beers on the weekend and whatnot, all that good stuff. Those are our friends. That's who we're amping. And other than that, that's about it. So, once again, because I like to say my name is Dan Ramirez, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to entertain y'all with what we're about to talk about. That's Steve Hudson, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic over to him.
So this week, the Russo brothers released a letter. And it is not a letter that's a joke. Because
they could have been dicks if they wanted to.
They could have been, but dude, it was a strong suggestion. From the Heroes of Noise, when you see Endgame, just keep it to yourself, dude. Until people get a shot at watching it. Don't come out and ruin it. Don't be that person. Don't be that person who'll be like, I'm just going to spoil it for everybody because I saw it. Don't be that person.
What may help, guys, is that there are discussion threads that you can go onto. There are discussion pages you can go onto. Do that, because there are going to be people that want to talk about it, guaranteed, that are, they're going to want to play along with you and talk about it. But to just drop things like that into people's feeds is such a dick move.
It's just mean. It's just mean. So, and please don't do the things where we're like, look, you should have seen it already. Not everyone has $20 to spend. Not everybody does.
Folks is broke these days.
Folks is for real broken. If it's between feeding your kids and going to see Endgame, I'm sorry, but they're going to choose the latter. Yeah, well, feed
your kids.
Oh, I mean, dude, listen.
We're on the same page, man.
Of course, dude. Totally. I mean, if you have a newborn, you could just boob them. That's what you call it, right?
You just boob them.
Yeah, you just boob them.
Just pop that little baby on one of those suckers and you're good to go.
Hey, what's your view on a different note? Are you good with, never mind. We're not going to do that.
What, public breastfeeding?
I'm not doing it. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, I benefit from it. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, man. Feed your kids. They're hungry.
Feed your kids. I say even in the theater. I don't mind it. But
little boob suckers.
You're not supposed to bring your kid into these movies. But
is that what you're talking about? Breastfeeding? Or are you talking about breastfeeding in the movies?
Breastfeeding.
In the movies?
In public.
Okay. Yeah. So my opinion doesn't change.
What about in the movies?
I don't care.
Neither do I.
I'm not looking.
I don't even think they should. They shouldn't even put the little. I get it why they do it, but they shouldn't even put the little shawl over it. I get why they do it, but don't do it on my account.
No, do it for modesty purposes. If you feel like you need to do something like that, go for it.
If you feel like it.
That's the thing. People get so offended about that, but it's not like if someone pulls their breast out and starts to feed their child, 4 people are going to pop over their shoulder and be like, hello, 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 But it would be funny if they did that. But no, just let people feed their kids. This isn't a porno you're watching, man. They're the same people that got mad at Janet.
Dude.
Was that a nipple? I have one of those. That's offensive.
Oh my God.
What? Something going on over there?
Yes.
What's up?
Gentlemen, we ran into a bit of a snafu. My son missed his wonderful driver's his driver's test today, and he's gonna have to reschedule.
What are you doing, Maj?
I know, and here's the funny thing: he won't drive my car. I beg him to. I'm like, just get in and let's just drive. He's like, oh no.
So he's using whose car is he using?
His mother's SUV.
But he won't drive because it's too powerful for him.
That's what he says.
I don't kind of smart though. When you're trying to negotiate the gas pedal when you're first learning, you know how that's kind of nerve wracking sometimes. Or you get a new car, like when we went out of town.
Oh, dude,
and I was getting used to the brakes and everything, so I get it kind of. Particularly on the day when you want to pass a test.
You were getting upset on that trip.
I wasn't getting upset. What are you talking about?
You were a little upset.
Why was I upset? I was
teasing you.
No, I wasn't.
You were a little upset, Dan.
You're crazy.
I'm just letting you know you were a little upset.
You're so stupid. I'm starting this weekend off worrying about petty shit.
Where's that from? You're crazy, but I like you.
You're crazy.
But you're crazy.
I like you, but you're crazy. Was that Frank the Tank?
That was so when he's just like, he said, yes, that's awesome.
I love when he gets that freaking dart to his neck. It's so funny.
So funny, dude.
Roar! Just knocking over little kids.
That movie, G, or when dude when he re-gifts him the toaster and Vince Vaughn with a clown face just starts shaking his head.
Him in his Pablo Cruz shirt.
Oh my gosh. He's like, why do you have to curse in front of with the kid? You can say earmuffs.
That's a classic movie, dude. It's so good.
Gee, that's a great movie. But anyway, so here's what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to hop into where we think we were about 20 minutes ago. It's been that long, and I'm going to ask Dan. Dan?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes, I have, Steve. Have you seen it?
Okay. Am I going to be disappointed? Just tell me that.
Well,
is it as good as the movie?
I got to tell you, I think it's pretty damn funny. From what I've seen. I've seen 2 episodes so far, and it's pretty funny. It revolves around different vampires, so it's not the same vampires.
Okay.
But it's the same feel to it. This one to me, guys, if you've never seen What We Do in the Shadows, it's like a mockumentary that's directed and stars Taika Waititi. And who else is in it? The dude from Flight of the Conchords. I can never remember that guy's name.
You're talking about Jermaine Clement?
Yeah. That's who I was thinking. Yeah, it stars him. And then anyway, I don't have it written up, but
he's in the show?
No. I'm saying
I
was telling people that haven't seen it.
Okay.
Where it stems from.
Like,
No. I don't recognize anybody in this show, but they're all great. It's funny. It kind of has, and so did the movie. It's a little bit of because it's got the one camera kind of thing going on. So it feels like it's sort of like The Office with vampires.
Is it a one camera?
It's filmed like The Office.
So it is so it's like documentary style.
So it's got different characters in this one, but it's the same situation. And they also have a familiar. You know what that is, right? A familiar?
I do.
So the familiar is really funny because they're always dying to be a vampire, but I'm trying to put him in the light of somebody. He's a total flunky. And he does things wrong. Like the first part that'll show him, rise, master, but he can't get the coffin lid open. So he's like, I
do like that.
Get out. Stupid shit like that. And then they have this new vampire that I've never seen them do before in a movie, which is really funny. And what do they call him? I think he's called an energy vampire. And the energy vampire, you ever seen? These people, Steve. The people that will walk into a room and just drain the energy out of the room, and they just keep talking and keep talking and keep talking. It's so funny. This guy's hilarious. He'll go to like town hall meetings because those are like the most boring things in the world, but he gets erect because he's so excited because there's all this boring conversation going on. He's fucking hilarious. I will tell you that I don't know all the characters' names right now, and I'm having a little trouble pulling something up, or else I would read those to you. But it has been technical difficulty day over in this podcast. But it's very good, man. Hold on, let me take one more shot at this real quick. See, so not only did Steve get a call, but like my internet went out, all these crazy things happened. So I think we are back to normal. And yes, here it is. All right. So it says a look into the daily, or rather nightly, lives of 4 vampires who've lived together for over 100 years in Staten Island. That's the premise. The main guy is Nandor, and he's played by a guy named Kaivan Novak. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, yeah, Kaivan.
Yeah, you don't know. And then they got Guillermo, who's played by... Guillermo is the familiar. He's played by a guy named Harvey Guillen. I don't know any of these people. And maybe... I think I'm just going to keep it that way. I'm not going to look any further into it, but I am going to tell you that this show is definitely worth watching, dude. Like, you got to check it out.
You're telling me to watch it?
Yeah, I'll even rate it. Okay. Let's see.
Go.
Oh, yeah, there's just one part where... I'll tell you another stupid thing that I saw. So the main guy, Nandor, he wants to throw their main vampire. I believe it's the one that created them, or at least is like the oldest vampire. He comes to visit them, and he looks all crazy, but they've all had sex with him. But he looks more like a Gary Oldman when he was in Dracula, and he had that really, when they look almost like a bat or something, or like a demon. That's how this guy looks. Okay. But he walks out, and he's like, and there's all these people around. He eats one of the familiars. And then he's like doing this vampire, he's doing this one vampire speech. And then it's just funny because he like looks up and the camera's there. He's like, what is this? Like, this is for a documentary. It's just stupid shit like that. I am telling you guys, watch What We Do in the Shadows. It's on FX, and it is really hilarious. And I believe it airs tonight. It's on Wednesdays, I believe. Let me double check on that. I'm so out of my element right now, Steve. All these problems.
Dan.
You're
doing great. You're doing
no, I could give 2 shits right now. I'm good. I'm just kidding. It's runtime at 30 minutes. I was just trying to find the day. I believe, because, I watch everything on an app and when I get a chance to watch it. But I'm pretty sure it comes on Wednesday nights on FX. Check it out.
Okay,
it's
cool.
really funny, dude. You're going to like it. Oh, yeah, I didn't rate it. So I'm going to give it...
Fangs, probably, right?
No, I think I'm going to go... This is just for now because I'm only 2 episodes in. So you know how sometimes they can take a nosedive?
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I think it's probably better than this, but I'm going to be fair and give it a 3.5 out of 5 rolls of creepy paper.
Wow. That is a deep cut.
That is a deep cut. Watch the shit.
Jeez.
You'll know what I'm talking about.
I will definitely do it.
Oh, and the most recent episode, Steve. Oh, yeah, it is on Wednesdays. It's episode 3. It's called Werewolf Feud.
Oh, no. So I guess we're not watching it, huh? Oh, well, have fun, everybody.
So I'm too.
Enjoy
It looks like I'm
yourselves.
too behind. I don't know why I didn't watch it. Cool. I'm going to watch it right after this.
So what else you been watching, brother?
Okay, so some of these are kind of old, but we've been doing different things with the Duran Duran and all that, so I'm catching up. Have you seen any of the episodes of Twilight Zone yet? Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone.
I did.
You
Yes, I
did?
have.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
Yep.
What were your
I've only
initial...
seen one.
Okay, the first one?
Yes.
And by the way, I think it's still the case that you can watch the Twilight Zone's first episode on YouTube. That one's free. That's how they get you. Give you a little taste. And then they want you to pay. They want you to be hoes for them to see the rest of it. So I guess I'm being a hoe for him right now because I'm still
You
watching.
kind of are, dude. I was just about to say that.
Or am I, Steve?
I was like, it worked on. Oh, you hear that howl? It kind of was a howl there, wasn't it? Yeah, like I would like to see more episodes, Dan.
I might know a guy. I might.
I know a guy, Mr. God,
I know this
Mr.
guy.
Goodfellas over here.
You go, you meet him behind the alley. He opens up his trunk and there's a television in there. You watch it.
Do you want to watch? Yes. And here's the thing. So when I watched the first episode, number one, can we just say he might be a genius, Dan?
The jury's still out. I think he will get genius status with his third movie. How's that?
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
But I think he is a very intelligent person that needs to be tested to see if he's a genius.
And the thing is, I love Kumail Nanjiani. And he's the star of the first one. I love Kumail Nanjiani. And so when I started watching it, I said, number one, normally, because I've watched every episode of The Twilight Zone ever. And so I was like, okay, how many different ways can they cut this cake? How do you think they cut this cake?
I think they got Cutco knives, sharp as fuck.
Oh my God, I used to sell Cutco knives.
I think everyone sold Cutco knives.
You didn't sell Cutco knives.
That's true. I'm just kidding. Everyone but me. But only dummies buy them.
Hey, it could cut through a penny. Calm down. Let me tell you something.
I own Cutco knives.
When I did my thing and it cut through a penny, I sold so many.
Does it really cut through a penny? I'm not going to do it with my knives.
It did scissors. When you have the shears, I could cut penny. Like, give me a penny, sir. They give me a penny. And I'd cut it until all the way to the middle till it's like a coil. And I'm like, eh?
We have
And
the
they'd
shears.
be absolutely shocked. See, yeah, they cut through a penny.
Well, I wouldn't know that because we bought this set, right? Sorry, I know this is so tangential. We bought this
That's
set
what we did.
and I put everything away and suddenly they're like $100, right? Those shears
Mm-hmm.
just gone. I have been looking for
That's
these.
impossible.
Dude, I've been looking for these goddamn shears for 2 years now. I have pulled out
Yeah,
drawers.
they're in the house.
I have.
They're
I
in your
know,
house.
but where did they go? And how did they get there? They were all
No,
together.
here's the trick. Someone was probably doing some sort of project for school
Mhm.
and they were looking for scissors. They saw those. Yes.
No, they no, because they came in a box and everything. But anyway,
Oh,
I get
never
to
mind.
So Cutco knife. Sorry, we went off on another tangent. I apologize. That one was my fault.
I sold Cutco knives. I was pretty good at it too.
What was the other thing you did? Ocean Breeze, or what was it called?
Oh, secret.
SEA-crit. Secret, baby. With your little
I
mirrors.
was really good at the
Yeah,
going
little
door to
secret
door.
parties. Like, hey, you want to go to a secret party? No, I don't. It sounds
It was
horrifying.
dope, G. And they called us secret agents. That's so dope.
Oh my God. Secret agents. I love it. Totally love it, man.
And so, yeah, so I sold Cutco knives. But yeah, man, would you say that with your Cutco knife, This wonderful show cut the cake perfectly.
That's where we were. I was trying to figure out how the fuck did we get on Cut Code 9?
I'm very good now, man. I'm keeping track.
It's been that kind of a day. I'm a little distracted on my side here. You don't see what's going on. But getting back to it, yes, I think that they did a hell of a job. I really liked that one. It was, at first, I'm like, is this going to be slow? I don't know what it was. It had a feeling like it was going to be slow to me. And then it started going into the story it tells, and I liked that plot. I found it very interesting. And it's totally Twilight Zone. Right? Like when you watch it, it's not like, oh, this could be something else. This is fully a Twilight Zone episode.
Well, here's the thing, dude. Here's the funny thing. When I was watching it, and I was like, oh, this is so Twilight Zone-y. And then it really got Twilight Zone-y when Jordan Peele came out and was like, this is a story. I'm like, oh my God, he's doing it.
Now, you've given me something to talk about. You just reminded me.
Go for it.
Because it's actually been a couple weeks since I watched it. I have 3 because of a guy.
You prick. Are you serious?
That I have 3?
Haven't you given me the guy? Why haven't you given me the guy's number?
I'll put you in touch with the guy. Fair enough?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
But getting back to it,
guy.
now I think you're going to disagree. No, it's a guy. It is. I think you're going to disagree with me on this.
Oh, I am.
I don't think that Jordan Peele does the narration very well. I'm not buying it. I think he does everything else well, but I'm not feeling him in the Rod Serling position. Like I think he's cool. He's fine. He's not terrible, but I don't know. I'm not buying it.
Here's what I think it is. If Rod Serling was Cary Grant, no one would buy it because he's recognizable. You know who he is. People didn't know who Rod Serling was. He was just a guy that was a narrator. But if someone like Humphrey Bogart or Cary Grant was just hired to do that, like Jordan Peele's been everywhere for years, and now he's doing this thing. And I think in your brain, you see him as everything else but that.
I just think Rod Serling has a certain kind of intensity that just, imagine if you will. There's just something about it. And I don't think that Jordan Peele has the same intensity. Maybe that's a nicer way of saying it.
I totally bought it. Like it had me. As soon as I saw him, it had me. But then again, it was also something I was like super duper ready for. Like I am a prime audience for this show. Prime target. And so it's just like everything was perfect all the way to the last moment. I was just like, oh, this was a show directly for, like, he could have made it differently.
Right.
But like he could have done the Jordan Peele to this Twilight Zone. He didn't do that. He made it a Twilight Zone episode.
Totally. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just talking about his presentation as a narrator. Other than that, I think this is total Twilight Zone. I can tell you that I like the first episode better than the second episode, which stars Adam Scott. And it's like a total play on the... Now, I'm not a Twilight Zone guy. I don't know all the names of them by heart. But what is that one? It's like Terror at so many thousand feet or something like that. You know the one with Shatner?
Oh, that's such a good one.
On the wing.
Oh!
Well, they flirt with that, but it's a completely different story. And it's modernized, and it has to do with a podcast, and that's all I'll say. But
it's about the true crime podcast, right?
Yeah. Did you watch it? Or did you hear about it?
No, I heard about it.
Oh, okay. Wasn't a bad episode at all. I just liked the first one better because I just thought that was an interesting concept. I'm going to start talking. I'm going to talk to Tracy Morgan, somehow not get pregnant, and then go back out on stage and start to just riff on somebody. And what happens when you riff on that person is very interesting. And then when he finally figures out the rhythm of it, how it changes his personality and what someone will do to go through it just to stick the landing. I found that very interesting.
It was great because it's coming from someone who has probably seen people lose themselves in the run to fame. The people writing this, Jordan Peele involved, probably is like, I've seen this person. I've seen a person before they hit, and I've witnessed them after they hit. And the difference in their personality and what they're willing to do has changed. They're not the same person.
No.
And so I think it was a great twist on that, saying, what are you willing to do? Who are you willing to step over?
Yes, exactly the words I was going to say.
To get where you want to go. Because
that happens in real life, but they just did it in a Twilight Zone type of a fashion. But yes, I agree with you.
Yes. They threw it all the way 100%. Instead of that step over, they just said, oh, everything we do, we go on 1,000. And I think Kumail did a great job of first being confused like the rest of us would be, and he figured it out the way a normal human being would. He doesn't do this whole, oh, well, I believe it now that it happened. Okay, move on. No, it took him a while to actually buy what was going on. And finally he was like, okay, this is a reality. Okay. But yeah, I really dug. I think, and look, mind you, I'm super biased because anything Kumail's in, I'm pretty much going to like. But I think he really did a great job at being, it touched on so many things, dude. It even touched on how dumbed down as a society we are, how dumb we are, how we don't like to have to think about anything. We don't want to.
If you're referring to his material, though, that material was
yes,
bad. That material was still bad. I'm sorry.
It was the first part. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. The first part, I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
So you're calling me dumb? That's what you're saying. You're calling me dumb?
No. I just thought it was like I never thought about that part of the concept. I never thought of it. I was like, oh, they kind of burned that good material on this show. I think that's pretty funny. I was like, yeah, that's true. Like it literally, I can't tell you, but literally the first line is like this thing, and we totally skip over it. I was like, oh, that's funny, but we don't want to think. So it's just so many things happened in this episode. Now I do think that people that aren't into stand-up comedy, they're not going to like this episode. If they don't understand the appeal of it all, they're not going to like this episode at all. And I totally get it because it's very stand-up comedian centric.
Kind of niche.
You have to at least know the world that they live in because they really do the whole competition thing, which is real, between buddies, which is real. They don't want to see each other fail, but they don't want to see each other succeed either.
Yeah, real fine line.
Exactly. And so I thought it was really good, man. I haven't seen the second or the third one, but I do believe that I don't think that this is going to be canceled. I think it's going to be a thing where they could go some seasons if Jordan Peele wants to do that. I think at this point, he can write his own check. Does he want to do it? And he has the name recognition right now that what if he walks into an office, their little meter is in the yes column already. You have to force them into a no as soon as he walks in.
Yeah, now's the time for Jordan Peele to be doing all the shit that he's been wanting to do. Ride the wave.
Because if he just shows up at an office, I guarantee the office people are like, ooh, Jordan Peele, what can we get from him before someone else gets it? Because once you put Jordan Peele Presents, automatically as a nation now, in the world actually, that puts our ears up. Our ears go up. Ooh, Jordan Peele Presents. And hey, Jason Blum is not doing too bad off it either. He found a freaking diamond. So yeah, I think this is really good. I really like the first episode. But would you recommend me watching the second and third?
Absolutely, I would. And things may change. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I am considering dropping cable. And I know this is a whole other conversation. And if I do, I was kind of doing the math. I think it might be cheaper to have these streaming services. So maybe I will pick up the CBS All Access. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'm definitely going to drop cable. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of streaming service I need right now. But anyway, my point being is that I won't have to see the guy anymore.
Well, here's the thing. What they do when you do that, because I tried it before, their package for internet is very close to how much it is for cable. That's what they do. If they know you're going to go just internet, that package is expensive because they know that, hey, if it's only $20 less and you get cable, why not just get cable? Are you willing to do this for $20 less? Now that's 2 streaming services. If you add 3, you are now paying more than you do with cable.
I've heard that, and I was talking to a bunch of people on the Leftover Army page yesterday, and it seems like a lot of people like that. I'm not saying I'm going to do it 100%, but I'm definitely going to make the call and see what I can finagle and whatnot, and I may end up doing it. We'll see. And I will talk about it on the show, on whether it's worth it or not.
Yeah, please do. I think it's I wish I could be a cord cutter.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't incorporate the internet package yet. Like, I didn't really think about that, but I'm going to see what they tell me.
Yeah. I think you're going to text me and be like, yeah, they know exactly what they're doing.
Of course they do.
Because they know. They're like, oh, if you're going to take away cable, say cable's $115. They're going to be like, just the internet package alone, cool, we can do that. It's going to be $95. You're like, well, dang, gun it.
Well, that's when I
It's
go,
so close.
thank you very much. I will go someplace else.
It's
When I
so
go,
close.
thank you very much. I will go someplace else.
Here's the hard part about. Wait. You're going through AT&T, right?
Right.
There's 3 people you can go to then, right? AT&T, Dish, and Comcast.
Mm-hmm.
Comcast is the fastest. Dish is good unless you have a storm. We don't have storms that often, though, do we?
We have enough of them.
And also, something tells me we're going to be getting more. Call it a hunch. So that's when you're relying on a dish. That's kind of like,
I have DirecTV, and just personally, I haven't had a problem with it.
no,
Not even during storms.
I don't believe you, Dan.
Well, I'm just saying personally, like it could
What
happen
I'm saying
tomorrow.
I think you're trying to get. Are you trying to get us sponsorship from?
Shut up,
DirecTV?
Steve. I'm working on something here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just
So you've never
smile.
had any
Talk
problems?
through
No
your teeth.
problems, huh?
Yeah, no, it's been great. No.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, sorry. I knew we were going to go off on this, and I apologize, but that's what I'm thinking of doing right now. Getting back to Twilight Zone, though. Let's grade it.
I can grade the first episode.
Okay.
I am terrible right now. Ooh, but if I give it a 5, that means I'm putting it on par with Martin. Is this as good a show as Martin?
And to use your words, 5 is perfection.
It's perfection, and Martin was perfect. And Living Color was, oh, dang. Okay, I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Fair. I like that.
Yes.
Because, again, you've only seen one episode.
Mm-hmm.
You could change your mind.
Yes.
All right, works for me. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.5 as well. 3.5 bad comedians. That's what I'm going with, baby.
There we go.
There it is. Why do we do this?
I
don't know.
I was gonna give it away too.
You got a better one?
No, because my would have been like, I wonder what that means. And if you thought about it, you're like, oh, that's what that means.
Gotcha.
I would have. It would. Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to do that. Now, on a bit of a tangent, Dan, I know I just said Martin, Living Color, things of that nature are my perfection. For a TV show? What is your perfection?
Sanford and Son. No, let me see.
That Quincy Jones title track, though, dude.
You know what? I love Sanford and Son, but I was only kidding. It's just the first thing that popped into my head. Okay.
What?
Perfection, huh?
Ooh, Dan, I can't wait. This is gonna say a lot about you.
I'm gonna go Sopranos.
Even the ending, you think they stuck the landing?
I was satisfied,
We don't know if he died or not.
and I'm cool with that. You asked me a question, I gave you an answer.
I know, but I'm debating the answer. Is what I'm telling
Of
you.
course, you're Steve Hudson. Of course you're going.
Here's the thing, dude. What a great show that was. Jesus, man, that was such a good show, dude.
Breaking Bad.
Oh, I wouldn't give that perfect.
I'm just throwing things out right now.
But Sopranos, you're right. Sopranos.
I think I'm going to stick with my original answer of The Sopranos.
Oh, that was good. I rewatched it a few years back, and I'm like, man, what a show this is.
Man, I really want to do that too.
Is.
There's just so much stuff that's coming out rapid fire. It's hard to go back and do rewatches. I was trying to get through a rewatch of Game of Thrones, and I'm only on like season 2.5 right now.
Have you
Because
rewatched
Gail
The
has
Wire?
finally agreed to embrace Game of Thrones and try it out.
There we go, Gail.
And the other thing that I'll tell you, guys, if you're thinking of watching Game of Thrones and just starting the binge, take your time with it. I know you want to get because 8's on right now, and you want to be all caught up. There is so much information to retain with Game of Thrones. Who's died, where these people are, the names of where they come from, just all this shit. And some things don't get resolved for seasons and then they come back and whatnot. There's a lot. I'm just finding right now, because we're going to talk about it in just a second, that with the premiere of season 8, I have a lot of catching up to do. I have to go back and watch a lot of things because I watched it so fast. I don't think I retained everything. My mind was a bit of a sieve. I took the big parts. I didn't take all there's just so much. Would you not agree?
Lucky for me, it was like I watched it as it was going.
Yeah. I think that's definitely, even though people love binging everything, I think that's a better thing because you have a week to sort of process it, talk about it. I really regret that. And I will say, man, that for a while, I really was that asshole. I don't understand Game of Thrones. I don't get it. So I'm going to tell everyone when they're enjoying it that I don't get it. I was that.
I remember when you started watching. It was when I was still over at the lab with you.
Yeah.
Over in X-Ray, and you were watching it on the iPad sometimes on your breaks. And I was like, oh, he's finally getting into it. And you ran through it, dude.
I was so charged. It took me, I don't know what it is. It took me probably 3 attempts to watch season 1. I don't know why.
You stopped at the exact part where it starts jamming, too.
I just couldn't make it through season 1. Like 4, no, it was more than that. I think I tried watching like the first 3 episodes, probably a good 4 times. And I don't know what it is because they're not bad episodes. We know this to be true. It just, that's kind of like not my genre that I really gravitate to, but this is a whole other deal, as we all know.
It is so good.
It's its own genre, you know?
I mean, coming up to the premiere, you saw people losing their minds. I think that affected my premiere.
Why is that? Because people were just talking about it all the time and you couldn't have a good Twitter experience and everything?
Way too much, dude. It was like, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Oh my God. Did you see the preview? I'm like, okay, this is going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing. Now, lucky for me, I kind of tampered down. Literally the first scene, I said, okay, they're going to do the Game of Thrones thing. I need to chill. It's going to be a slow slog. Nothing's going to really happen until things start happening.
I got a feeling that it's going to get hopping, dude, in the next, 2 episodes.
Maybe.
As in episode 3, it's going to really start hopping.
Maybe. You know how they are, dude. Because remember, I think, isn't this broken up into 2 things?
Like a half season and then another half season?
Yeah, it's going to be like half season, then another half season.
I haven't heard anything about that, but it's just going to, I don't know. I mean, it would help with merchandising, I guess. Get people hungry again.
I think nothing's going to really happen to the last 2 episodes. Like when things start jamming. Things are going to start jamming in the last 2 episodes.
Well, of course they are. But the thing is this is it. You have to go for it. You can't do a shitty 2/3 of the season and then try to stick the landing. I think that this episode... Okay, well, let's start talking about it then. Since we're already on the subject.
Yes.
I'm kind of getting the feeling that you were underwhelmed with the season 8 premiere.
Oh, I thought it was okay. It was fine. It was just like as good as the normal Game of Thrones, which is good.
You were just expecting something bigger.
Yes, until the first scene. Then I was just like, okay, this is going to be a fine episode.
Yeah. To me, and I know what you're talking about. I was like, okay, so we have a lot of catching up to do. We have to get some reunions going. We're filling everybody back in and letting them kind of breathe their way into it kind of slowly. That's how I took it. But, and I'll probably talk about the same things that everyone else has been talking about because it was just one episode. I enjoyed it, first of all. I didn't go crazy. There have been those Game of Thrones episodes where you're talking about it for 3-4 days. Like how we were talking about Us. Like, did you fucking believe what that happened? I can't wait for that to happen on this season because now I'm watching it just like everyone else is and I can actually talk about it. Whereas last time when I binged, I'm like, and then this happened? And they're like, yeah, I know. Welcome to the club. You know, they didn't really... I missed all that fan excitement, live tweeting and whatnot. So I'm excited about this season. Maybe that's more of the reason I'm excited about it. But still, I think that it was a fine episode. I loved seeing the dragons. I'm not going to say too much about it if people haven't watched it yet because it's truly only been a week. What else? What did I like about it? Any highlights for you? Well, I'm thinking.
Here's my highlight. My big highlight for this episode was, and this is good. This is a little tiny part. When Bran looked up at Daenerys and said, "Your dragon." Told him I can't say. Looked up and told her the news of her dragon. She didn't know.
Yeah, the look on her face.
Yes, and so when...
and that was a G thing he did too, because he's like, we don't have time for all this.
Yeah, this is what's happening. And so when she was like, I'm going to get my dragon back, that's like the King Walker sending her a meme like, wrong.
Someone should do that, make a YouTube video where they insert that.
Exactly, where she's just like, I thought I was getting my dragon back. And the dude's like, wrong.
What's up? Yo, what's up with Bron in this episode acting like Chris Hansen in To Catch a Predator?
Dude.
Every time. It's meme worthy at this point. And it kind of it's starting to work that way, but it's just like every time. If there was mailboxes back then, someone could open up a mailbox and just see Bran looking at him.
Yes.
It was really funny. It was borderline comical to me. And I don't think they were really going for that, but I was dying every time I saw that.
What was your highlight?
I really liked the whole new world scene with the dragons.
What? Did you?
Yeah, because I think that it needed to happen. And I don't really want to say. I'm trying not to spoil anything. I'm being nice about it, but...
Well, now we know why it happened.
Right. Yes.
Yes. Now we know why the dragons looked at him, kind of different, like, hey, yo, Son is different.
Right, because only certain people can do certain things,
Yes.
and not, now we know why. So I kind of enjoyed that. But this was Jon Snow's episode.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I kind of liked what Sam was doing at the end and the mind frame that he put Jon Snow in. And how it's like, okay, well, this is going to be a major part of the series. Obviously, it's going to be. But now, how's that going to go?
Well, here's my question. We know that some news happened at the end of this episode. A buddy tells Jon Snow something. Kind of tells him to get back at someone, really. Pretty much.
Yeah, was it done out of vengeance?
Yes. Well, here's the thing. We have to also remember who told him to tell him. So what is he up to? Bran is orchestrating this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because he sees what can happen if this doesn't happen. He sees the monster that's being created that Jon doesn't. And he's like, look, get on it's time for you to get on your post. I just thought it was really an interesting thing. This is a lot of setup to something that's going to be a good ending. I just smell Game of Thrones doing their Game of Thrones thing. Here's what I'll tell you. I bet you Bran doesn't even do what we think he's going to do with somebody for a few episodes. He's going to act like nothing's going on.
And I think that's
Game of
brilliant.
Thrones
I don't think that yeah, exactly. They got to build it up and you got to see. You don't think so?
Nah. Like a G would be like, I just son him that second. I'd be like, hey, we're going to handle this business right now. Then everyone's like, oh my God, if they're willing to do this now, what are they going to do in the next episode?
I'm going to butcher this guy's name. It's like Rob McElhenney or something like that. It's the guy from It's Always Sunny, the dude with the beard, the one that got fat, then skinny and all that. Did you know that he made a cameo in the premiere?
That I did not know.
It's so quick, dude. It's a blink and you miss it kind of thing. Do you remember on the ship when an arrow goes through a dude's eye?
Yes.
That's him.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I just read that yesterday.
I didn't know that.
They throw some bones to people that want to be on the show. I think that's pretty cool.
I did not know that.
That's him.
Game of Thrones is a special beast because, Dan, you know if a show doesn't catch me from jump, I'm out.
That's true.
But they've earned the right to have me not be caught from jump. I will sit through and look at all the names and look at all this and look at all that and look at all that because they have earned that right. They did their work. This is a sign for all other shows. You do your work. You don't have to bat 1,000 every time. You could just be like, now we want to tell a story for these next 3 episodes because you've earned it. You can't just come out the gate being like, we're going to be slow and Joaquin Phoenix-y for the first 3 episodes. No, you got to come out, unfortunately, and be Jason Statham. And then you can be Joaquin Phoenix. That was a pretty good analogy, G.
I would have put in Steve Hudson.
You like that? For Jason Statham, right?
Yeah.
You like that, right?
Yeah, quick.
I do know my karate. I do. Oh, man. I walked into that one, didn't I?
Slam.
I walked into it. Da-da-da! Yeah, you're right. People don't know that reference. I promise you. People don't know. Gee, what? It's fun that we get to record these and do these things. But yes, I give, you ready to rate the first episode?
Yes, I am.
All right, what do you want to rate it with?
That's a good question. Let's see.
Without spoilers.
Should we just go tradish or should we do something that's specific to the episode?
Okay, I will not say that word, but we can go traditional.
I was waiting for it. What was the other? I did that on purpose. What was the other word that I said one time? You're like, oh no, I'll never say that. Oh, I was totally kidding. And I said, yeah, give me the deets. You're like,
you know what probably started this?
What's that?
The show commish.
Tradish, commish. I don't know. I never say tradish for the record, though. I was totally cueing you.
You do say half words, though.
What?
You do say half words.
Oh, I do. Sometimes. Not tradish, though. No one should ever say tradish.
But all of them are that bad.
Shut up, Steve. You think you're perfect?
They are, dude.
You don't know what I know.
This brother would be like, oh my goodness. Have you seen the new episode of, what's a good show?
Okay. Oh yeah, please. Give me a specific now. I can't even give a specific, so I'm dying to hear what, yeah, please. I'll admit it if I do it. And fuck
Have you
all you,
seen- have
fuck
you
all
seen
you
the new-
listeners, by the way, that are going, yeah, you do that, and this is what you're like. You're
Thank
saying
you.
it right now. Fuck all of you.
You'll be like, yeah, I turned on the flicks. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? The flicks. I was watching. I was binging some shows on the
referred
flicks.
to Netflix as the flicks.
I'm saying that's something you do. I was watching Sab the Teen Witch. I'm like, what? Sabrina the Teen. I'm like, geez.
These are both bad examples.
That's what you do, dude.
I do not.
Be like, okay, let's get this. What is a good long word?
I do say cast. Like, are we going to record the cast? Is that bad?
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Save
That's
your
not
emails
bad.
if you're thinking of something, listeners. I know.
You'll be like, all right, I will do this on one condition. Like, what? Condition. Be like, oh, what?
Bro, you want to come over and smoke some wanna?
You wanna? I'll be like, oh, I'm leaving. I am leaving.
Do you wanna? There's a t-shirt.
Oh, dude, it is. Dan, you think that t-shirt wouldn't sell?
You wanna?
Dude,
I like it.
You wanna?
I'm going to make it. And then I'm going to take all the money.
Dan.
I'm going to put it back into the show.
That is a really good t-shirt. You wanna. But one of the words, anyway.
You have
one
it?
Of the words
Do you know?
One of the words has to be a leaf. Would it be the A?
Man, why are you fucking with me with graphic art right
I'm
now?
sorry, because now Dan's head is going to be, here's what I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen.
Great. Now I'll be on Photoshop all day.
He'll be thinking this for like at least 15 minutes today.
I'm crazy.
He'll be
as
like,
fuck.
wanna.
There's something wrong with me, and you just jacked me all up now.
But the thing is,
I got a show to put out. I can't be doing this
we
right now.
stumbled on to, I'm telling you the real, this is the truth. That is a saying that could actually catch. I'm not lying to you. That's something that could actually catch.
Maybe we should make a "Do you wanna" shirt and put it on the page.
Gee,
People
I'm
will buy
letting
'em.
you know. I'm letting you know it would sell. At least 2 people would buy
We got
it.
any potheads out there?
That's the issue, though. People don't like to go out and like publicize that
They do
they're
more
a-
so now, but not everybody. You got your lawyers.
Oh, dude.
By the way, speaking of calling me out on shit, that once, because it was off mic, but we were talking about just that, the whole "you got your thing," and it was when we had Rebecca and Melissa on, and we were talking about it off mic, and Rebecca's like, "You do that," and ever since she did that, what I heard was, "You do that, and now I can't even talk without like totally overanalyzing everything that I'm saying. Thanks, Rebecca. Now you know you're the goods, though. Hey, by the way, Steve, I'm going to say it on the air. Fuck it, because we love Rebecca. I shared some secret information with her.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because she not texted, but she Facebook messaged me and said, "You guys should do this thing." And I said, "Well, top secret stuff, ba-bam."
Who better to let someone in on information than the awesome podcast girlfriend of mine? She knows all.
I
She's
started a
all-knowing.
thing. This is a continuing thing now. You know this, right?
What's that?
Like, you guys are an item, a podcast item.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
A podcast item. That's it.
For sure. No doubt.
That's awesome.
You did it.
I know I did. I feel like freaking Will Smith and Hitch.
Hey. Or Steve in the yet untitled movie.
Well, I don't have anything to reference yet, you know?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that's
I
very
would have
true.
given it to you.
It's very true. It's going to be dope. Oh, I found an ending to that movie. Anyway, so what do we want to put? You said, what did you want to rate it as? Because I don't know what the traditional. What is the traditional thing? I don't. Dragons?
For the record, I've never said tradish. I'm honestly saying
I'm
that.
pretty sure you did, but
I'll give it a 3. And that's 3.5 thrown out today. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 bronze stairs.
I will give it a 3 bronze stairs.
Or is it a glare? Is it a glare or a stare that he's doing? It's kind of a little bit of both, huh? I'm giving it a bronze stare.
Here's what I will tell you what it is. It's I'm walking by, either this dude is blind or strange.
Well, he's
he
definitely
looks
strange.
blind. Yes. And so I again, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. I'm just one of the few that, and some of these people, I think they're lying about how much they liked it. I don't believe them at all. I think they're just doing what they're supposed to do.
Now, I think it was a perfectly fine episode.
It was perfectly fine, but geez,
It didn't change the world.
Apparently it did.
Nah.
I mean,
They'll get
good
over it.
Lord. Now I'm about to talk about a show that's not in the lineup,
Okay.
but it is. Oh, Dan, I'm about to say some strong words. Of this year, it might be the singular best show I've seen. Top 3.
Have I seen it?
No, it's on Hulu, and it's called Casual. I have watched in the last 2 days, Dan. I am on season 3.
Wow. Oh, because you had a day off too.
Dude, Dan, this
Is that what you spent your birthday doing?
Yes. Over and over, to the point Maj was like, hey, what is that show, dude? Because it's just going and going and going. It is such a good show. It's so good. It's just fantastic. It's about a guy, he's a tech guy, like a rough flannel wearing tech dude that just came up with a cool dating site. His sister just got out of a divorce, so they're all living in his house. But the rug gets snatched out from under each one of them at different times, and it's about how they come together to support each other and how things in a family can get really, really ugly sometimes. I mean, really, just like, hey, we said some things you can never take back. So even during the course of the show where everything's made up, you remember that they did say this thing. And I wonder if it was real, even though you're like, babe, or sister, I'm sorry. I love you. It was in the heat of an argument. I shouldn't have said that. And you're like, yeah, we're totally fine. But are we? Because you did say that. That means you thought about it. But Casual is so good.
I'll have to check it out.
I'm surprised you haven't watched it.
No.
If you watched 2 episodes, you're in, Dan. It's over for you.
I believe you.
This is a Dan show.
I say it sounds like something I would watch.
If you like You're the Worst, you're going to adore Casual. And there's one episode called Fresno.
Are we the butt of jokes?
A little, but not really. As an avid TV watcher, we're becoming a thing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it happened, but Fresno is becoming less a butt of a joke, but more of a place where people are. Like,
that's because people can't afford to live in the Bay Area or Southern California, so they come here. Now they can't talk about it.
And so they're saying, like, one like, hey, I found this person, and they're in Fresno, which isn't far at all. They're like, oh, cool, let's go visit them. I'm like, oh, there wasn't a. And the one joke they made, a girl says, well, at least I'm not living in Fresno to a family. It's played for you're really mean and you're really a douche. So it's not a butt of jokes anymore. It's like no, this is where and they show like, a person's trying to hate on us. And they show like an older lady making her toast, and a lady's looking over there like, wait a minute. She's just having a wonderful day in Fresno. Like, this older lady just having a good time. And she kind of is like, I'm kind of tired of the LA thing, but I don't want to admit it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're becoming a thing. Like, Fresno's becoming let's move to it. And then she's like, what is up with small towns? And the guy across from her, he's like, Fresno's not a small town. She's like, what are you talking about? And so it's really fun. And it's just a great, fun show. They have a teenage girl that is very open with her sexuality. She like straight up says, she's like, why do I have to like somebody to have sex with them? Why can't I just do it and just move on? Why can't people just be okay with having sex and there's just being friends still? And the mom had to be like, you're wired a different way. It's not a normal thing. But I get what you want, but you're not going to get that. So it's really fun, and it's a great show. Everyone is just fun to watch, just fun to free. And hey, remember that girl the show you told me to watch with those 2 girls that are like teenagers, but they're really like 25, 26?
Yeah, Pen 15.
Yes, the Asian girl is on this show.
Oh, then I'm definitely in.
And she's on the later seasons, but she shows up, and you're like, oh, she's not leaving. He's not leaving. And she adds...
Maya Erskine, right?
She's fantastic. You're going to love it. You're going to love the show. You watch 2 episodes. I feel sorry for you. So that's casual. And I will give casual. Oh, I'll call it rat traps. I will give them 4 rat traps.
Okay.
4
I'll tell
rat-
you how many rat traps I think it's going to get when I watch it, and I'll probably check it out tonight. It's my night off.
I would recommend you watching with Gail.
Oh, totally. I will.
Yeah, and Sarah.
Okay.
And Ben.
So the whole family.
So the whole family.
It's fun for the whole family. That's what you're saying. Shall I put the dogs in there too?
I was just like, oh, dude, yeah, because there's certain really niche things that teenagers do that you may not get, but I guarantee Sarah will be like, oh yeah, I know her. I know her. I for sure know that girl. Yep, know her. So yeah, you're gonna really dig this show. So that's casual, and that's what there's no reason for me to say anything else I've been watching because that is pretty much it. What else have you been watching?
Actually, I was going to ask you about one of the things that you watched. 2 things
You're
that
right,
you watched,
dude.
actually.
You're right.
You're not done yet, sir.
I sure am not.
So there was one that we both watched that we can talk about. What are you doing over there, Slammy? I'm sure the people don't hear it on their side, but what's all that noise? What are you doing?
Slammy McSlamishing?
Yeah, how are you doing over there?
I'm putting my cup down on not the cup holder that I actually have sitting here for that reason.
Oh, okay. Sounds like you're building a damn house.
Here we go. I'm going to put my cup down really soft, see if you can hear it. I did it soft too.
I'm going to put it down really soft. Can you hear it? Steve, are you having fun today? I'm having fun.
I'm having a good time.
It's been kind of weird getting here so far, but I'm having a good time.
All right, so there is one show I did watch. Another show. And it is what normally white women who dated me for a summer would call their time off. I'm joking.
That's what I referred to as the first 3 months that I met you.
Yes, that's my black summer.
What you been doing, man? I've just been having a black summer.
Anyway, no, I'm joking.
DYD. You know what DYD means?
That's funny. DYD?
Mm-hmm.
Did you...
No, it just means, damn, you dumb.
Oh, that's really good, dude. You know what's funny?
What?
It was years before I knew what BYOB mean.
You're like, what's Biob?
I was like...
You ever been to one of them Biob parties?
Gee. And then I was like, bring your own bag. What? Like, what? That makes no sense to me. Then they're like, oh, it's just liquor. I was like, then it should be BYOL.
Well, bring your own beer.
Oh.
That's where
that
it
makes
came
a lot
from.
more sense.
And I'm not encouraging teenagers to be drinking, by the way, because I'm a responsible
are,
adult
a
male.
bit.
No, I'm just saying that's where it came from.
Unless you're in Germany.
If you're an American kid, get your shit together. Don't drink. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. This has been a Heroes of Noise PBS. Damn it, not PBS. God damn it.
Gee, what is your deal with PBS?
I don't know. It's you know what? Now I'm not going to say it.
Jesus, dude.
I'm gonna.
Oh, dude.
This is
your Heroes of Noise PBS.
Jesus Christ, man.
Wow.
You know what I said the other day?
What?
What was on? Oh, so I was listening back to the 7 thing that we did with Real Zodiac that I did with Real Zodiac. So I was talking about 9 Inch Nails because they did the soundtrack for 7.
Yes.
And one of the guys that plays with Trent Reznor a lot and has been in the touring band of 9 Inch Nails is Atticus Ross. I referred to him as Atticus Finch, and no one caught it. So I'm listening to it. Do you know who Atticus Finch is?
According to I do now, yes.
Who is he?
He is an actual character.
Oh, I tweeted it. That's right. I forgot about that. Okay, this is old news, folks. Old news. Anyway, yeah. I'm just doing a hell of a job.
Oh, you didn't correct yourself on the pod?
No.
But the thing is, no one else did either.
No, but now, depending on how many people hear that and have some kind of they're somewhat literature savvy, they're just going to go, listen to this guy. And then I come on to Heroes and I say PBS instead of PSA. What the hell is wrong with me?
Gee, it's okay. I didn't know what BYOB meant.
Yeah, but I know what PSA is. I just
That's
said, I said,
It's true.
this has been a public broadcasting system. It's free, fuckers. You're not paying for
That
it.
is so funny.
Enjoy
That
my
is
bad grammar.
So freaking funny. So, okay. So I watched a show called Black Summer. As a matter of fact, I heard nothing about this show. It just showed up on Netflix.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I'm with you. It just was there one day.
oh, okay. And I pushed play. And anyone who knows me knows that I love me a good zombie flick. Or infected. It could be either be zombie or infected because technically 28 Days Later isn't zombies. But I like either one.
Zombie or infection. What do you go with?
It's tough because 28 Days Later is very close to Dawn of the Dead. Those two sort of running zombies, very similar. It's almost like they crossed over. But if you're telling me like Night of the Living Dead zombies, I'm not worried about them. Not one of the things I'm terribly worried about. Even though the hard thing about that is everyone dies. So that means when you die, you come back. That's a lot of dead people because everyone just naturally dies. And if everyone that dies, those rules in that world are, doesn't matter if you were bitten or not, you come back as one of them. Whereas the infected, you don't. You kill an infected, it's gone. You're good. You're straight. No worries. So I would say that as far as what scares me the most would be a 28 Days Later / Dawn of the Dead running a zombie because those things run and they don't fatigue. That's scary.
I'm with you on that. Running zombies are terrifying. Infected, what have you. Crazy terrifying, right?
Hate that, dude.
It's the worst.
Still
terrifying.
I'm gonna get tired. They're not gonna get tired.
Yeah, it doesn't terrify me as in I get scared when I watch it, but putting myself into that hypothetical situation, that's terrifying. It'd be terrifying the other way too, of course, but now they're running at you.
That's terrifying. Dude.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
So Black Summer, man.
Oh, so good. I finished it, by the way.
I'm on episode 3.
Oh, dude. It hasn't even hit the ground yet.
I'm along for the ride right now. That's all I can say. There's a few things that I kind of go, it's just one of those, like, I didn't make the movie, so shut up and just enjoy it kind of thing. But the way that they turn, it's like,
oh, yeah.
instantaneous.
Yes. I do. I like that because in other movies, you have to be dead for a while.
Yeah.
This one is like, why would you have to be dead for a while? As soon as death hits, it doesn't, what, is there some sort of thing that has to happen? Like, no, you die, you're back. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. When they jump up and start running, I was like, oh, dear God.
And they're just ready for action.
Oh, they're jamming, dude. I was like, I don't like this. I don't like it at all because they're just back up. And I was like, it makes sense. They die. And the problem is you don't know if you should help someone because you're like, what if they die while I'm helping them?
Right.
That's tough, dog. And then there's that, I don't know if you got into the scene where, have you gotten to the scene where they're being chased by a truck?
Yes, that's exactly where I am.
Dude.
So is that 2 or 3? Because that's the episode
3.
I'm on. Okay,
That's
yeah,
3.
so I'm on episode 3.
Dog. People are just dying in this show. I love this freaking show. And
I'm sorry, Steve, I got to do the inhaler again, bro.
No problem. Oh, dear Lord.
This air's bad today. I think I gotta take some allergy medication or something. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Didn't mean to break your
No,
thought.
I would say for me, this is a zombie film or show done well. Like, I was told that it was a prequel to Z Nation, and now they're saying, no, it's not. It's not any sort of prequel to Z Nation. I have a feeling Netflix is now saying, ooh.
No, this is our thing.
Yeah, now we can actually, because the prequel to Z Nation didn't come out of nowhere. Someone said, yes, it was. But all of a sudden, Netflix is like, no, it's kind of going to be oh, you guys saw that people are really digging this thing.
Yeah.
Because they're doing it in a different way. I think it's really cool how they're setting this scene and how they go into chapters. Like, it'll be like chapter this, and it shows it from this point of view. Chapter this, and it shows, I'm like, they're treating it seriously.
It's giving me that impression from what I've seen so far. And it's pretty obvious, but I think it's going to ultimately end up that way anyway, is that all of these stories are connected, right? And it's all about getting to this stadium,
Bingo.
I believe. Yeah. Okay.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, Dan. Do not get attached to a soul on this show.
No, I don't plan on it.
I did the wrong thing. I was like, oh, this person is so cool. Oh, dang.
Well, it's already happened in one case.
Yes. Oh, dude. And the thing is, they're doing it. They're saying, of course, in this sort of situation, most of y'all aren't gonna make it. They're running. And there's a part where, I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but where there's people shooting and you don't know who to shoot at because everyone's running. So you're like, they're either a zombie or so you start shooting people that actually have guns. You're like, oops, sorry. Now they're jumping back up.
Sorry,
like,
it's a zombie thing.
Thank you. And now all of a sudden they're dying, jumping back up, running at you. And you're like, now there's more people. You're like, and I'm like, that's how it would happen. You wouldn't be able to because you think, ooh, we're going to get a crowd of people with guns. All it takes is one to die. Now you have a few more zombies, 2 more die, 4 more. Now it's a crowd of people that you just don't know who's who. I'm like, oh, whoever did this is like, let's make this a real world thing. It wouldn't just be one zombie coming after. No, they'd be everywhere going to anyone they could. Fantastic. And they stuck the landing. So it's to the point where if they don't make another episode, I'm good.
They closed it out nicely.
Story. Perfectly.
That's cool.
It was a completed story. And it's a story that it's a world that I thank heaven I do not have to live in.
Yes.
Because dog, they're every, and what, you know what it made me realize? In a small town, you only need 5. That's all you need.
5 zombies?
Yeah. Running everywhere.
They'll
it.
do the job.
They will do the job perfectly fine because they'll bite 1. Now you have 6. Another. Now you have 7. Gee, it changes that you see it happen. They jump on somebody, then start running away, and that person jumps up. I'm like, oh yeah, yep, it would happen within 40 seconds. They're reproducing. I'm like, oh, this would be terrifying.
How come some of them sprung up quicker than others? Like some of them had to go through the whole dying part. Do you think it's because there was a cleaner kill?
Yeah, I think it's because
it's
like
just
some of
the
them,
moment that death occurs is when it happens.
Yes. Right? And some of them weren't, they were in the process of dying.
Right. So it's like a cleaner kill thing.
Yes.
That scene we were talking about with the truck.
Oh my God.
How that ended? I wasn't expecting that at all.
And the smartest person on this show, the smartest by far, is someone that no one can listen to.
Yeah.
She is every step of the way the smartest. As soon as that happened, she didn't go into, she went into, if my calculations are correct, this is about to get terrible. Immediately starts acting. Doesn't do the I'm scared screaming thing. She immediately, and whoever's doing the camera work, you notice how they're running with the people? They don't do a bunch of cuts. They follow them in the car, go through the car.
A neighborhood or something.
Yes, they follow, and I'm like, how are they doing this? They're jamming with them, dude. I love this show, man. I love it. I love it. In this world, apparently, because we have zombie movies that are in the world of zombies, which are very few, where they start using the Z word. These are zombies. In this world, zombies don't exist.
Right. And that's what I think is kind of cool about it, too, is that you see, at least from what I've seen so far, people aren't shooting them traditionally. If you will, Steve. They're not shooting them traditionally or killing them traditionally. So, and what I mean by that is, rule number 1 with zombies is you shoot them in the head. You take out their head, right?
Yes.
So people aren't doing that. And on Twitter, I was seeing people kind of complaining like, well, that's ridiculous. Why don't they know? I think it makes it better. Because in a lot of movies that you see, they do take them out at the head right away. And you're like, oh, how do they know that? In this one, you're like you said, you're dealing with the world where zombies don't exist, or at least didn't exist previously. And no one knows how to do it from what I've seen so far.
They're learning.
Like yes.
Yeah, they're learning. When they see it happen, they're like, oh. And or sometimes, I'm not spoiling anything, but you can see someone who's killed a bunch of them and they'll come in and kind of discuss, okay, this is the reality. We've been doing this longer than you have now. This is how it works. But even that, when something is running, it's impossible. All the movies you guys see where people are running and people are getting headshots, it's just, that's not how it goes. You can't. And so when they're running at you, you have nerves, unless you're a trained Navy SEAL. You have nerves, they're running crazy. They don't run this straight, awesome Usain Bolt straight line. They have this weird gait that they're using. Their head is going everywhere. You just have to wait until you can kill them close up. That's what you have to do. Because if you start wasting bullets, that's another thing. Bullets are finite. So you got to be like, do I want to waste this on a maybe kill? It's just all these things are being done on this show where you're like, yeah, these are things you'd have to think about. We don't have an endless amount of weapons. We have to, do you want to waste them now? Because once you run out, you're working with a bat. Really, G? Is that what you want to do?
You use what you got.
Exactly. And it gets to a point where you're like, okay, the best thing to do is to avoid them. Just hope that they see someone else, hide, and try to get around them. And I'm like, that is totally what I would do. I can't kill all these things. What you can do is hide and try to get around them. That's it. It's just a brilliant show, dude.
I'm enjoying it so far.
You'll like it. I have to get out of here, brother.
No problem, man. No problem. I guess we can wrap this up. That's okay. Now, guys, understand, it's been kind of a wacky show. We've had crazy shit going on. We're starting, we're stopping. Not the norm. So, shorter show? I'm not entirely sure yet, because this is going to definitely take some editing to get all pieced back together again. But I hope you enjoyed it.
I had a blast. I had a great time. People, any voicemails that we got regarding Duran Duran will be handled this weekend. We're going to be doing the show about Duran Duran, the part 2, and discussing what's going to happen with a music show even further later. I love you guys. I really had a good time today. I had fun. I hope to hear for some emails or some voicemails about this show. Can't wait. And I can't wait to see y'all on Sunday with Duran Duran. We love y'all. This is the last you're going to hear from me. Peace out.
This was fun, Steve. And again, happy birthday to you, sir. My name is Dan Ramirez, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get out of here. We are the Heroes of Noise. Steve Hudson over there, that's my partner in crime. We'll be back very soon. Until that time, be good to yourselves. Be good to the people around you. And ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, we'll see you next week. Peace.